Friends, pals, buds, homies, it has been an age since we've seen Killswitch Engage live in Australia, but never fear because they've put out their live at the Palladium live concert for everyone to enjoy, and it's an absolute treat. And on the line today, I have Jesse Leach from the band. Let's chat all about it. How you going, man?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm very well. Where the Australia is opening back up to live performances soon. We're virtually there now, and so that means that we can possibly actually see Killswitch Engage live very soon, and hopefully that's the case. But in the meantime, we've got this excellent long concert. You guys really put in the effort on this one. How's it feel to have? It's been out now for a couple of weeks. How's it feel to have that finally out into the world and kind of share some of that live experience with the world again?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. We worked really hard on it. It's not perfect, but no live performances. But I think for us, especially when we did it, in the middle of us being shut down over here, because this was recorded a while ago.
Yeah.
It felt really good just to be in the room with those guys again and to think that, okay, hopefully this means soon we'll be back on stage for real, which since then we've done 2 tours here in the States.
Yeah.
So for me, it really captures a moment in time for all of us, and to be able to do our first album in its entirety. And if you watch the Blu-ray, the DVD, we dressed the part as well, which is kind of funny. And then to do Atonement in its entirety, which is a record that we didn't really get to tour on because that's when the pandemic hit, right after it came out, so it's pretty huge on many levels that finally got released, and super stoked that Metal Blade wanted to do it. It was actually their idea. So yeah, I'm very pleased, man. It's nice. And the feedback so far has been great.
Well, that's actually what I wanted to kind of address, was that the Atonement record came out in 2019, and so certainly the release cycle for that one would have been heavily interrupted. So this must have felt like a bit of a redemption round for you guys to do this, to actually put that down as a live experience. And because interestingly enough, I don't think a lot of fans realize this, but you generally don't get to go out on tour and play your whole new record in full for people. You generally take the singles out with you and perform them amongst your hits, And
Correct. Yeah.
so like this is actually a bit of an odd experience for an album.
It is. And to me, it's like, I love this record. I think it's one of the best things we've done with me on vocals. So for me, it was nice to be able to celebrate the entire record, because you're right. When we do tour, and we have toured since then.
Yeah.
And thankfully, we're playing 5 songs off the record on these 2 tours, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
We usually, like you said, maybe 3, maybe 4. But for me, I'm kind of tired of that, just playing the hits. Like, I really love the fact that we've been switching it up lately. And Atonement's a record that, to me, I'd play any one of those songs live and continue to do it. I love that record. So I'm stoked, man. I think it all kind of worked out. And like I said, the response has been great so far. So it's actually made us play more of that album live because of the response of everything that's happened. So it's great.
Yeah, that kicks ass, man. That's really cool. The one, and like I'm sure you're going to agree with me here, but like, correct me if I am wrong. The sense that I got from watching the live show, and also from things like your promo shots for this record, the sense that I got from it is that there's a real and genuine friendship and camaraderie amongst the band, and it just oozes out of it. And that's really wholesome and awesome to see, in my opinion. Would that be correct to assume?
Yeah. I mean, we're family. We don't all 100% get along all the time. We all have very different personalities, but there's a level of respect and love there that never goes away. And we can be in the same room, in the dressing room, hanging out, getting ready for the show, and oftentimes we do, where we hear not every band's like that. It's very interesting to me. So we have our band and our crew all in the same bus, all sharing a space. On days off, we kind of go into our little cliques, our little things. I often go off by myself. But there's always a sense of camaraderie. And when we're riding the tour bus together and hanging out, we can all hang out together, all 5 of us, and we get along. It's nice. We're like brothers, we're family. We've been at this for so long. So yeah, you are correct in assuming that. And anyone who tours with us and hangs around us sees that. It's like, there's no pretension, there's no bullshit. You know, we're a dysfunctional family, just like any band, but we actually really get along, which is nice.
Yeah, that's really awesome, man. And I think that really elevates the live experience as well, seeing a band on stage. You know, if you're at the show as a fan and you see a band on stage who is genuinely getting along and enjoying themselves and enjoying each other's company and enjoying the experience of making music for other people, I think it elevates the experience so much.
Yeah, I think that's a huge part of what Killswitch is that vibe. You know, and I learned that very quickly when I rejoined the band. It's more about having fun. It's more about interacting with the audience, making sure that people who have come to our shows, that spent their hard-earned money, that, you know, made sure they had babysitters, that took their time off work or whatever to drive and come see us, whatever the case may be, we're there for them. And it's more about the interaction between us and the audience. And then we're just there to have a good time, you know, because the other 23 hours of that day, we've been sitting around twiddling our thumbs, sleeping, waiting. So it's like that moment on stage is the time where you get to just let it all hang out and actually have fun. So we really try to make it so we're having fun every night.
That's so great. The thing that I find most interesting about, and like you said about the Blu-ray, is that it contains, you know, your first, the debut album in full, and then your most recent album as well. You know, was it important to you to show those bookends of the career so far, or, you know, was it, you know, what was the thinking there in terms of like going right back to that first record as well as the most recent one?
From what I can recall, we sort of stumbled upon that idea when discussing how we would roll this out, how we would do it. And I think it makes perfect sense because of the pandemic and because of our mindsets of not knowing when it's going to end, if we're going to get able to do this again, you know, because everyone can sense that, I'm sure, especially you over there in Australia. You're wondering, first of all, when will it end? And then there's a point in the darkness where you're like, will this end? This is taking forever.
Ooh,
and I think a part of that thinking really made us sort of appreciate the fact that we still get to do this. And looking back on that record that was made 20 years ago and going, wow, we should probably give this another go. And then recording the set on the stage where we had our first ever show at the Worcester Palladium, it kind of all came full circle and it wasn't lost on us. There was definitely a vibe for that performance and a feeling. And then, like, you know, we dressed the part as well. We tried to look as close as we did to 2000 in the video, which was hysterical for us, you know, with the wig and the big pants and the beads and all that stuff.
Yeah, everyone has their fashion phase they're not so proud of anymore. Don't worry about that, man.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, we, you know, and not much. Listen, not much has changed. We're still pretty dorky dudes, you know.
I think Adam D is definitely he has no boundaries there on that. He'll wear whatever.
Yeah, he does not care either. He does not care what you think about him, which I love that about him. He's very punk rock.
I mean, certainly one of my favorite clips on the internet is him on The Price is Right. So, you know,
I agree. I remember watching that on my couch, getting such a kick out of it. Oh, he's got his hands on his head. He's like a big cartoon character.
Yeah, he played the part.
That's a dream of his. You can see how much that shit meant to him. It's a dream of do that. And
agreed.
It was obvious.
Agreed. Yeah, he was definitely playing the part of, you know, you know, the excited, you know, the complete over the topness of a Price is Right contestant.
Yeah, which is not a stretch from his normal character when he's out
I mean,
and about having fun.
He's no stranger to, you know, doing things like going through the crowd and getting a drink at the bar while you guys are playing and all of that sort of stuff. There's all those videos to be found on the internet.
Still does it to this day. I mean, obviously, since the pandemic, we haven't seen that, but the day will come when he does it again, and we're all going to be quite happy to watch it happen. It'll be like old times again.
Love it. Love it. I'm glad actually that you said the name of, you pronounced the name of where the show was shot as Worcester, because I was going to say Worcester, so I'm sorry about that. But
yeah, but I mean, that's how it looks. I get it.
Yeah.
I would, when I was younger, I would say it that way, like it's just the English language, as you know as well. Not always as it seems when you see a word. It's like, what the hell word is that?
Yeah, exactly. And at first I kind of thought, like it must have been like a very purposeful decision to do it hometown, first venue you ever played. And then I realized it was probably more out of necessity, right? Like it was, you guys were in the middle of a pandemic, so you guys were at home.
Yeah, well, the crazy thing is Massachusetts is only home to 2 guys now, but
Right.
it was the closest one, and they gave us a deal just because we've known those guys forever.
Amazing.
So kind of worked in our favor, and that place holds a certain vibe to it. So when we were discussing it, I think that was a pretty fast decision, unanimously, despite traveling or expenses or anything. I think we kind of had our heart set on that place.
That's really cool. And look, just before we wrap things up, man, like is there any sort of messages you want to share about the record, about the the fact that it's out on Blu-ray, it's out on vinyl, it's out on all sorts of formats, and to just be like dissected and enjoyed, what's the do you have any messages for Australian fans?
Absolute gratitude to anyone who's purchased it or paid attention to it, and I couldn't be more excited to come back and show you what we sound like now, because I think a lot has changed from that particular recording. We've done 2 tours since then. I think we've really brushed up on our skills and technique. But that being said, I'm super proud of that record, and I'm stoked that it's part of the legacy and that people seem to really be enjoying it. Just very grateful and excited to get back over there at some point.
No, we'd love to have you back, man. It's always a treat to have you on the stage over here.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. All
My
hail,
pleasure.
everybody.
Thanks so much for your time this morning, man.
You got it, brother. And yeah, have a good rest of the day, my friend. And we'll see you hopefully next year at some point.
Hell yeah. I'd love
All right,
to have you back over here. Catch you, man.
Peace, my friend.
Bye.